FOMO is driving property price growth. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's have a look at this article discussing FOMO, fear of missing out. Now, I was literally teaching my young son about this concept this morning. His sisters went to a party and, well, unfortunately he couldn't go, nor could his brother, because the kids had decided to play in the Kia and leave all the lights on and drain the battery to nothing. To nothing. So it took a while to get it charged up, and I even had to buy one of those little, have you seen these little battery jumper things, like a lithium battery that you charge up on USB? You just attach to your car and you can jump it. That's brilliant. Brilliant. I'd recommend getting one, because otherwise I got to lug, because the Camry, it's a hybrid, it's got a battery at the back. I got to lug it out, move it over, and it's just worth it. So, he spent all day missing out on the girls' party, which was literally like full of girls. There had been like maybe one other boy there. It was a girls' party. I do not blame him for not wanting to go. And he spent the day playing Nintendo, chilling, and relaxing, which is frankly a pretty good day. I would not have minded that at all. I would like to have had a day playing Nintendo. But then this morning he got all upset because his sisters were bragging about how they got cake and all these other treats and everything. And he started feeling, sad. And I said, Frederick, you've got to realize, you'll have this fear of missing out through your whole life. And you've just got to learn to manage it. Because sometimes people will share things that is just the highlight reel of their life. And you'll think, and get jealous and envious. And these are bad things that you need to overcome. Now, these are lessons I'm trying to teach my young son. And I think it's something we all have to struggle with. But we're not really taught that much that jealousy is such a bad thing. We really should be. And that's what this is. All this fear of missing out, it's simply jealousy. It's just envy, jealousy. So people are potentially making rash decisions. So FOMO pushes property price growth, according to Oliver. Rising rents and population growth have helped the property market rebound amid a FOMO phenomenon, AMP's chief economist has said. Well, isn't it always a FOMO phenomenon here in Australia? Let's bring up some property prices from SQM. Let's look at the national prices. I'll wait for that to load up. There we go. And we can see there, what's that? $844,000, guys. So they're definitely right up there. Look at that jump that we've had. Okay? We've had a 1 in 100 year event. And property prices in Australia, well, you can see where they're going, guys. They're not crashing down. AMP chief economist and head of investment strategy Shane Oliver has said the combination of rising rents and population growth has resulted in the property market shifting from a slide to a rebound. Speaking at the S&P Global Ratings Australian Property Spotlight Seminar in 2023 in Sydney on Tuesday the 25th, Mr. Oliver said, "Those waiting for the property market and its prices to slide are now looking to jump in before it's too late, as rent hikes continue to bite and the population increase adds further pressure to supply." I'd also add that our ability to meet the needs of the continued demand for property is going to decrease because the construction industry is, just recovering or still going through a profitless boom. It's going to be some damage and take some time for that to heal. Reflecting on house prices, Mr. Oliver said, suddenly from February onwards, they started to rebound, and I think that was primarily due to population growth. The FOMO phenomenon is alive and well. Lots of people are sitting on the sidelines waiting for lower prices, and they're thinking, we've seen them lower their prices, and now we've got this huge influx of people to Australia, and in the meantime, the rental markets are real tight. A millennial or someone thinking they need to get in now instead of paying this massive rental increase. So suddenly the market goes from sliding to a rebound and potentially going into undersupply. And I'm a millennial. We're not young. Some of us are 40. We're getting old. I can watch King of the Hill and relate to it now. He added that despite the reduction in population growth during the pandemic, the number of people per household dropped across the nation, offsetting the reduced number of immigrants. We're seeing a demographic shift also occur here in Australia. People aren't having as big families, you're getting smaller households. Some people aren't even pairing off and getting married. Through the pandemic years, the number of people per household in Australia dropped below 2.5 or thereabouts, and the RBA reckoned that offset the lack of immigrants. That's why the market remained tight and rental markets remain tight, even though you have these immigrants coming in, he said. So now you've got this supply shortfall that's given us a rebound. You went from hardly any immigrants to 400,000 potentially this year, maybe more, pushing it above 2% in a very tight rental market. According to AMP's chief economist, Australia should have been building an extra 50,000 houses per annum from 2005 onwards. And even with the unit building boom in 2015, and we all are aware, or maybe you're not, there's a huge, I'd say, endemic defects in many of the apartments in New South Wales because of that boom, that overheated the market. And at that time, do I still have that chart here? Where is it? There's a really shocking one I had, looking at the number of foreign investments or foreign-backed building approvals. No, I'm afraid I've lost it. But it was that 2015 boom was at like 90%. It was insane how many building approvals were going to foreign-funded projects. Anyway, so the property market was back into a massive undersupply again. Furthermore, Mr. Oliver said the increased interest rates were also reflected in property auction clearance rates slowing, with an unseasonable rise in listings in June and July, which he said may be a sign that we're seeing increased distressed selling. The chief economist suggested, we really need interest rates to start falling quickly to take the pressure off here, and we may not see that. They may stay up for a little while before they start coming down. If they do come down, they may stay at higher levels, Mr. Oliver said. Mr. Oliver's comments on the surprising uptick in home buying demand and a resulting uptick in house prices echoed forecasts made by the National Australia Bank recently, as it revised up its house price forecasts for this year and next due to high demand. The major bank's new outlook for property prices suggests house prices will increase by 4.7% this year and around 5% next year. The forecast was based on NAB's expectations that the RBA will lift the cash rate to a peak of 4.6% by September and keep it on hold until 2024 before cutting in 2025. So they're predicting this property price housing growth, even with a cash rate at 4.6%, on hold until 2025. Let's have a chat about this one, guys. If you're a regular of the channel, you've seen me discuss what I call the 10 pillars of the property market or the housing sector here in Australia. Things that I argue are, well, adding support to the demand side for property and hence lifting up the prices. Everything from increased population growth to yearly or every other year, essentially, legislation changes which are making it more expensive to build. So you've got to really look. And I mean, now we've got the banks predicting a 4.7% increase this year and a 5% increase next year in property prices, even with interest rates going up to 4.6%. Imagine what it would have been like if the RBA had kept rates at 0.1% until 2024 like they promised. Or they didn't promise, like the media alluded to, like the media reported on without all the bloody asterisk contingency requirements that they said, when the moon was in front of Venus and the equinox stars aligned, some of that astrology stuff. Insert your own voodoo woo-woo in there. But you know what I mean, guys. What do you reckon? You think we're going to see a big correction? Or will property be up 10% in another 2 years? Oh, boy. It's going to be tough if you're trying to get in. Anyway, Thanks for watching. Check out HeiseBim or HeiseDoes if you're interested in other content I create. If you're a fan and want to support the channel, you can on YouTube or Patreon using our referral links, buying our pocket squares, or calling us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.